Before you act, pause and see. What if the world mirrored me? If all did the same, would justice survive? Or would morality cease to be alive? As we arrive at the closing chapter of this journey into morality, I must share a personal reflection with you. After exploring voices from across time, from Aristotle's virtue to Bentham's utility, from Nietzsche's challenge to Simon de Beauvoir's call for authenticity, I have found that one philosopher stands out in his clarity, depth, and universality when it comes to morality. That philosopher is Immanuel Kant. Kant's theory of categorical imperative does not rest on culture, religion, or personal preference. It asks of us something deeper, to act only on those principles we would will to be universal laws, and to treat every human not as means but as an end in themselves. To me, this is the most profound and compelling account of what it means to live morally. It is rigorous, it is demanding, and yet it is liberating, for it reminds us that morality is not an external command, but a law we give ourselves as rational beings. That is why I have chosen to conclude this series with Kant, for in his vision, morality is not fleeting, not relative, but grounded in reason and human dignity itself. So, what exactly is categorical imperative? A law not written in books or stone, but carved within the heart alone. It asks no bribe, it fears no king, it speaks to all the same one thing. Act only as you would want to see, a universal truth for humanity. Treat each soul as an end, not a tool, for dignity's weight is the highest rule. This is Kant's voice across the years, a compass beyond our doubts and fears. Not duty imposed from heaven above, but reason's own gift, justice and love. For Kant, morality is not about happiness, not about success, not even about divine reward. It is about duty. We are moral not because it benefits us, but because it is right. His famous law, the categorical imperative, asks us to check every action against a universal test. If it fails the test of reason, it's not moral. This might sound abstract, but think of it simply. Would you want everyone to lie, cheat, or exploit? No, then you should also not. Would you want everyone to keep promises, respect others, and help wherever possible? Yes, then you must. Kant also taught us something revolutionary. Every human being has inherent dignity. We cannot use others as tools for our gains. People are not ladders to climb, not objects to consume, not numbers in a system. They are ends in themselves. This idea lies at the foundation of human rights today. And Kant did not stop with others. He spoke of duties to self, to respect your own life, to nurture your talents, to live with integrity. To be moral is first to honor yourself and then extend it to others. The beauty of Kant's philosophy is that it requires no religion, no authority, no external lawgiver. It requires only you, your reason, your conscience, your will. He gave us a moral philosophy that is universal, timeless, and deeply human. Kant reminds us that morality is not about what happens to us, but about what comes from us. Our freedom, paradoxically, is fulfilled not when we do whatever we want, but when we choose to do what is right. Perhaps this is Kant's lasting gift, the insight that in every choice, big or small, the moral law speaks within us, and when we listen, we are not just following rules, we are affirming the dignity of humanity in itself. Categorical Imperative is his central principle of morality, introduced in his book Groundwork of the Metaphysics of Morals, 1785. It is a way of testing whether an action is truly moral, not based on desires, consequences, or feelings, but on pure reason. When we talk of imperatives, it can be of two types, hypothetical and categorical. Hypothetical imperative can be conditional, for example, practical rules. If you want to pass an examination, you must study. It depends on your goal. If you don't care about passing, you don't need to follow it. Coming to categorical imperative, that is unconditional moral command. For example, do not lie. It holds true no matter what you want, because morality is not an option. There are three main formulations of categorical imperative: the universal law, the humanity formula, and the kingdom of ends formula. The universal law formula, that is, act only according to that maxim, whereby you can at the same time will that it should become a universal law. For example, test your actions by asking, what if everyone did it? The humanity formula, that is, act so that you treat humanity, whether in your own person or in that of another, always as an end and never merely as a means. That is, every human has dignity, not a price. Using people only as tools is immoral. Coming to the last one, that is the kingdom of ends formula. That is, act as if you were through your maxims a law-making member of a universal kingdom of ends. Imagine a world where every rational being follows the same moral law. Live as though you are shaping laws for all humanity. In short, categorical imperative is Kant's way of showing that morality is universal, rational, and rooted in human dignity, not dependent on personal desires or social customs. It's not about fear of punishment or hope for reward. It's about respect for reason, for truth, for human dignity. In Kant's vision, to be moral is to be free, because freedom means obeying the law we give ourselves through reason. We began this journey with a simple yet eternal question: what does it means to be moral? Through the corridors of history, we walked with philosophers, Plato reminding us of justice, Aristotle teaching us virtue as a habit, Kant urging us to act from duty, Mill guiding us with consequences, Nietzsche daring us to re-evaluate our values, and Beauvoir calling us to live authentically. We entered Gandhi's thought, where morality was not a theory but lived truth, and we listened to the silent whispers of conscience across cultures, religions, and ages. Along the way, we discovered that morality is not one thing, it is many voices in conversation. Some see it in universal laws, others in personal freedom. Some locate it in outcomes, others in intentions. Some ground it in divine will, others in human reason. Morality, then, is less a fixed destination and more a dialogue. A dialogue between self and society, freedom and responsibility, ideals and realities. We saw how ethics extends into every sphere: politics, science, environment, technology. From climate change to artificial intelligence, the moral question of today demands both timeless wisdom and fresh imagination. But at its heart, morality has always been about one thing: the human struggle to live rightly. To ask not only what we can do, but what we should do. To examine ourselves in the mirror of conscience and to strive for a life that is not just successful but meaningful. And perhaps the final lesson is this: morality is not about being perfect, it is about being awake. Awake to our responsibilities, awake to our choices, awake to the dignity of others, and awake to the fragile, fleeting beauty of life. So, as the series closes, let me leave you with a thought. Morality is not a rule book locked in the past. It is a living practice, renewed with every action you take, every choice you make, every silence you keep, and every word you speak. The philosophers may guide us, the books may teach us, but ultimately, the moral life is our own experience.